So what is the outlook for these two real estate agency stock in Singapore, which is like Propnex and Apex Realty, right? So I've covered these two pretty good uptrending stocks. Over the past few months, we have seen prices kind of like pushing higher and higher, very, very strong uptrend. But what happens was over the past 1 to 2 weeks, there were a bit of profit taking, and two of them have kind of like came back down. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, is it a good time to enter again, to kind of load up, to guide the rebound, or to kind of ride the uptrend even further and all that. So what is the outlook for these two stocks, Propnex and Apex Realty? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier advisor in Phillip Securities and chief trainer at Trading Impossible. Right, so in today's video, right, we'll dive into these two stocks which I've covered previously. All right, we look at the charts, we'll even look at the system. So I have a system called 1GT, One Good Trend, that kind of like filters out stocks for us, and we actually had a few bullish entry and exit signals for these two companies. So let's take a look at the system to see what it says. All right, and what does it look like on the chart as well. Are there any levels whereby you can potentially think about timing your entry to get in again, and what are some of those key resistance level whereby selling might come back again? Watch this video all the way to the end if you want to know what to do for these two stocks, Propnex and Apex Realty, because I think you're going to like it. Okay, so this is Propnex here, currently trading at about $1.78 right here. You can see this is pretty much where we are right now. And over the past, I would say, month, right, we have been seeing a bit of consolidation since like July. You can see we kind of hit a high of around $2.20 here, all right, and then sellers came back to kind of push it back down towards the $2. So like for about 3 days, we were like consolidating from like $2 to $2.20. You can see up, down, and then we got quite a bearish candle right here, and then we broke down, all right, below the $2 mark. So a bit of weakness, I would say, when it kind of went below the $2 psychological support level, which would actually be like the resistance. So you can see that 3 weeks you have gone, all right, and it was like consolidating from like 185. You can see right here about 185 to $2, right? Up, down, up, down. You can see this green line is the 20 days moving average, which is like sloping, up. Then after that, it's like moving sideways, and right now it's like slightly pointing down. All right, slightly pointing down. So in terms of the short term, we are seeing a bit of weakness, right? The fact that we went below the $2, and of course, over the past few days, we kind of broke this 185 support level as well. So 185, as I say, was the support level. We were like consolidating from 185 to $2. We actually tried to attempt to break that $2, but sellers came back and push it back down, all right, and then we kind of like close just below the $2 mark again. All right, so right now you can see that we broke this 185 support level. So let me just turn this line to red in color. That would be the resistance for now, all right, the support turned resistance. In fact, today I think the high is about 184, or 184. Those is where sellers came back again, right, which shows that this resistance is pretty much here to stay, I would say, in the short term, right? Not saying that it will go all the way down, but this would likely be the consolidation phase for now, below 185 all the way to 170, right? 1.70. Look at this right here, 170. We are pretty much back to where we were in July. All right, it was like consolidating from like 150 to 170, and when we broke this 170, the rally really started all the way to 220, and we are pretty much back down to this 170. So this 170 resistance, you can see resistance would now be the support levels. That is, I would say, the range for now, from 170 to about $1.85. So it's like about a 15 cents range, right? 0.15, 15 cents range. And I would say in the short term, we might actually consolidate here, right? So I would say that in the short term, right, it's still hard to say because it's only like 2 days, all right? 2 days that we are in this range. So we have to probably wait a few more days to see how it goes. But that would be the support right now at about 170. So in the short term, just want to be careful, because I think that even though the longer term looks okay, but in the short term, we might actually see a bit more weakness if, right? Say again, if we were to break the 170, right? So as I say, 170 is a near-term support level, right, which we are holding for like only 2 days back to this level in July. It's only for 2 days, so it's a bit hard to tell, right? But so far it seems like buyers are coming back up. But if the 170 were to break down, just want to be careful, because we might actually see a bit more short-term weakness all the way down back to that probably about 150, 160 range. That could be the potential downside, all right, just if we were to break below the 170 170 level right here. All right, so this is pretty much where we are right now at about 178, 179 right here in this range. So yeah, just be careful. I think in the short term, you want to be careful. You want to have a plan. I think if you want to get in near like 170, 171, 172 to catch the rebound here, and hopefully we do get above that 185, right? If we do get above 185, yeah, that's a good thing, right? That's where we can probably see the recovery back to that $2, and that's where we can see the short-term trend. In terms of the short-term trend, in terms of the green line, let me just go ahead to like this green line here, starting to point up, and hopefully prices will climb back above this short-term 20 days green line, right? So yeah, anything back above that 185 would be a good sign, all right, of more upside, of the reversal starting to happen, or just be careful, as I say, if the 170 support level were to break down. So if you were to break down, all right, then as I say, this 150, look at this. This 150 would be, I would say, quite a very, very critical support level, right back to May, June level. You can see 150 was a really good support before the rally really started. So that is the 150 level. I think it's a psychological support level in terms of the horizontal price level, number one. Number two, you can see that this 100 days moving average, this is the 100 days moving average, it kind of like coincides with the $1.50, right? So as it approaches that $1.50, kind of like a mid-term support, right? Kind of like mid-term support. That is where I would say, some really good bargain hunting might come back again, or it might come back again like what we see over here. Buyers might start to come back up again, and we might potentially see a rebound from here if the mid to long-term trend will to hold, right? In terms of the trend continuing further in the mid to long term, right? So that can be, I would say, we do see some bullish candles, bullish price actions right here near the 150. That's, having said that, that means the 170 would have broken down, right? So if the 170 would have broken down, right, and we see some really good bullish candle here, it could be kind of like a really good opportunity to kind of like get in on dips to kind of catch the rebound all the way back up in terms of the mid to long term trend happening. So right now, short term wise, a bit of weakness, as I say, because we went below that 20 days green line moving average, and we are also below the 185, all right, and a potential break below 170, but the longer term still looks okay. The mid to long term, as I say, because we are still above this 100 days moving average pointing up, blue line 200 days moving average pointing up. So longer term still looks okay, but short term we might actually still see a bit of weakness coming in the short term, right? So just take note of that, right? So let's take a look at what it says on the 1GT system. As I say, we actually had a few bullish entry and exit signal for this company, all right, since like the beginning of the year. So let's take a look and see what it says, all right, and if there are any like new exit signal and all that. Okay, so this is PropNex, all right, on the 1GT, one good trend system that I have that kind of like filters out stocks for us. And as I say, we were actually alerted to this counter many months back, like since February, March, and we had like a few bullish entry and exit signals, right? So I kind of covered like this stock and also APAC Realty over the past few months, I think since like February, March. This is it right here. You can see that this is where we had like a bullish signal in Feb, went up, got an exit, so an entry and exit signal. One over here in May, quite a good run, got an exit, and the most recent one was somewhere on the 2nd of July, right here, right, we can't approach the 160 level. All right, so we got quite a good push from like 160 all the way to like somewhere around that $2, $2.20, and then we got an exit signal right here. So yes, this is PropNex. We actually had like a bullish entry, an exit signal, and right now you can see that it's pretty much no signal, right? So yeah, I probably want to wait to see if like a new bullish signal might come out in the next few days or next few weeks to kind of like ride the rebound right now. But as I say right now, because right now we are in this consolidation, right, from like 170 to 185, right, it remains to be seen, right, if that 170 level can hold, right? If it does break down, we might actually see a bit more weakness to like 150, 160, as I've mentioned, right? But I want to probably wait to see if that's a new bullish signal, all right, to probably time my entry to get in again, all right. And that's how like the system can help you to kind of guide you on entry and exit. So for example, we've got an exit signal here, and if you have kind of like got in, you probably will kind of use this signal to kind of guide you to get out as well, all right, and also not just hold on to it. So it kind of like guides you on like taking profit as well. All right, so let's take a look at the another counter, which is APAC Realty, and see how it looks on the charts. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead to give me a thumbs up. It will definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's dive into the next real estate agency stock in Singapore, which is APAC Realty, right? Currently trading at about 0.885 right here. You can see quite a good uptrend. I think I've covered it as well a few months back, and we kind of like push higher from like 60 to 70 cents. It broke the 70 cents, went up to like 85, came back down, and eventually reaching a high of about 95 5 cents, right? So just about last week we went to about 95 cents. Sellers came back and pushed it back down, and this is where we are, about 0.885, right? So the thing is this, right? You can see that this is the green line, all right, the 20 days moving average green line. You can see this green line is still like pointing up quite gently, all right, quite a good, I would say, sloping upwards line, all right, and that is 20 days moving average. So line is sloping up and prices is still kind of like holding above this green line. So that's a good thing in terms of the short-term trend. Whereas for like Propnex, as I mentioned just now, right, the green line, you can kind of rewind and take a look. The green line was actually kind of like pointing down with prices actually going below the green line. So in terms of short term for Propnex, there was a bit of like a weakness in the short term, all right. But for Apex Realty, you can see that this green line is still pointing up, right, and prices is above this green line, all right, and that is where, all right, we can see that, you know, this resistance, right, this resistance at about 85 would now become the support, right? So it kind of like coincides with this 20 days moving average green line. Let me just go ahead to draw this upside, I would say, rebound targets from 85 all the way back to about that 95 cents. So 95 cents is the recent high. That is where we might actually see some profit taking coming back again. But right now, this 85 cents is the support level, all right. The resistance here back in July turned support, plus it is back to where the 20 days moving average green line is, which can provide some kind of a dynamic support level, right? So this is Apex Realty. So obviously the uptrend for Apex Realty looks okay. I mean, compared to Propnex, which I pushed up by quite a bit, Apex Realty kind of like started somewhere in like June, July, all right, the move up, and you can see the moving averages are all pointing up in terms of like the red lines, the 100 days moving average, also pointing up very gently, the red above the blue, all right. So in terms of the mid to long term trend, I think it looks okay. Just that for the short term, we might see, you know, some profit taking coming in again as it approaches some of those like, you know, heavy selling zones like the 95 cents, like the $1, people might want to take some profit as well. All right, so this is Apex Realty right here, all right, with support at about 85 cents, right? So let's take a look at what it says on the 1GT system, if there are any, you know, bullish signal, and what does this say there? Okay, so this is Apex Realty, all right, on the 1GT, the one good trend system that I have, all right, and you know, since May right here, we got like a bullish signal, started to push up, got an exit in June, quite a good bullish here move, all right, 1st of July, all right, started to push up from like about 60 over cents to that 75, 77 cents, got an exit. And this is the most recent bullish signal on the, I would say, 6th of August, right? So 6th of August, we got like a new bullish signal. You can see right now, there is still no exit, all right, on this like bullish signal. So like green arrow pointing up, that would be like a bullish entry signal. So right now, you can see there are still no exit, right? I think if we were to like kind of like hold above that 85 cents, I think it still looks okay. All right, we hold, as I say, 85 cents would now be the support level. If we were to hold above 85, we might consolidate from like 85 to 90 cents. Right here, let me just go back here, right, 85 to 90 cents, and eventually breaking the 90 cents to hit back to that 95 cents. That would be the range, right? So yeah, this is what it says on the 1GT system for Apex Realty. We got a bullish signal so far, started push up, but there's still no exit. So let's take a look and see, you know, probably when the exit signal might come out, all right, and if it can kind of like, you know, rebound and push away from this new support level at that 85 cents, like we're seeing today as well. You can see buyers had to come up. They're kind of like, you know, I think the low is about 0.86. Buyers came back up, push it up, and it's now about 0.89. So that kind of like affirms this 85 cents as a support level. But you know, as I say, we still need to get past that 90 cents. So that would be the range from now, 85 all the way back up to that 95 cents immediate resistance level. So that's it, guys. We have covered these two real estate agency stock in Singapore, Propnex and Apex Realty. So I hope you now have a kind of like a clearer picture on what are some of the levels to take note of in terms of the support level as well. All right, so if you like this video, go ahead to give me a like, a thumbs up. It will definitely help out the YouTube channel. And thank you so much for doing this. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead to smash the subscribe button so that you will not miss out on any new videos like this. And thank you so much for doing this, right? So Joey here, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care.